Hi, I'm Edwin, a developer on the Cloud Solutions team here at Teradici, an HP company. In this 4-part video series, we'll show you how to easily create a simple virtual desktop environment and access it using Teradici's Cloud Access Software, CAS for short. This is part 1 of our Quick Start series for deploying CAS on Google Cloud Platform, also known as GCP. In this video, we'll provide a brief overview of CAS and then also go over what you need to get started with the GCP Quick Start script, which is located in our Cloud Deployment Scripts GitHub repository. In the next 3 videos, we'll provide a walkthrough for deploying CAS using our Quick Start script, connecting to the workstations, and then finally cleaning up our deployment. If you're not familiar with Teradici's Cloud Access software, it is based on our secure PC over IP protocol and delivers a highly responsive remote desktop experience with color-accurate, lossless, and distortion-free graphics. And this is even for high frame rate 4K UHD graphics workloads. For more information, we urge you to check out our website, www.teradici.com. Without further ado, let's get started. We'll begin by first visiting Teradici's Cloud Deployment Scripts GitHub repository. The link is provided in the video description below. In the README, you'll find a short introduction to CAS, and just below it, you will also find links for documentation for deploying CAS on both GCP and AWS. For CAS deployments on Azure, there's a separate repository, and we've also provided the link here. We can click on the instructions link here, which will take us over to the GCP README page. Under Table of Contents, we can click on the GCP Quick Start tutorial bookmark, which will then take us to this blue button to start running the Quick Start script on GCP. But before that, let's quickly go over some of the requirements and the architecture of this deployment. The Quick Start script is actually a wrapper script that uses the manual Terraform configuration single connector deployment. We can refer to our list of requirements under the requirements section here. The first requirement is to set up our GCP project. We want to make sure that we have the owner permissions so that we can avoid any permission issues during the deployment steps. To create a GCP project, we'll first log into our GCP account. Here I have already done that, which takes me to this home page. We'll go ahead and click on Console button in the top right corner here. To create a new project, we can then click on the drop-down menu, then select New Project. Here we will give our project a unique name. And if the name is not unique, you will see that GCP will actually add some numbers to the end to give us a unique project ID. Let's go ahead and copy and save this project ID somewhere, as we will be using this as part of the deployment step so that we can tell our Quick Start script which GCP project to actually use. Go ahead and finish selecting your organization and location to create this project, and then we'll go ahead and click on Create. I've already created mine, so I will move on to the next requirement. The second requirement is to ensure that our project has sufficient quota. We've provided a link here, which will let you see if you have available resources available to be used for the deployment. For the third requirement, we want to ensure that GPU virtual workstation machines are available in the specified region and zone. For this demo, we'll be using the default region of US West 2, which does have the graphics instances available. The next requirement is our PC over IP registration code from Teradici. To obtain a PC over IP registration code, please reach out to our sales team by clicking on the provided link on this page. For the next requirement, a CAS Manager deployment service account is needed since the Quick Start script does use CAS Manager as a service. As part of the Quick Start script, it will create and use the CAS Manager deployment service account for you to make the deployment as easy as possible. The next few requirements go over SSH key pairs, SSL key and certificate files, as well as Terraform version 1.0, which is required to use to deploy our resources. For this Quick Start demo, we'll actually be making use of Google's Cloud Shell, and it already comes with Terraform installed, so we don't have to worry about installing Terraform ourselves. Finally, if we visit the deployments link over on the README page, we can find more information and diagrams about the various reference architectures available. For the Quick Start script, it uses the single connector deployment configuration, so if we scroll down a little bit, we can find more information here. It talks about some of the resources that are deployed, such as the subnets, firewall rules, and various virtual machines that will be used to set up the domain controller and the cloud access connector. We'll also find a section here that talks about the various workstations that you deploy. You can choose between 2 operating systems, Windows or CentOS, and also between no GPU, also called standard or GPU machines. For example, if we want to deploy a CentOS machine with NVIDIA graphics, then we want to choose a CentOS graphics workstation. We'll also find an architecture diagram here, showing the various virtual machines. The Quick Start script deploys 1 cloud access connector, 1 domain controller, and the user specified number of workstations. It uses CAS Manager as a service for brokering. We're now ready to move on. Join me in the next part where we'll walk you through running the Quick Start script and begin deploying CAS on GCP.